Hi everyone, this is what our game looks like so far. Let's do a short one just about how to display text to the screen. So you can actually look up a lot of these commands by opening a browser and searching for processing, which is the name of the graphics package we're using. Processing.org is their main website, and actually they've got a ton of really great tutorials and examples and other things if you want to poke around there. But I'm going to search for processing and then text. And you see the top couple of hits are about the text commands, text size, text align. So text is the command that actually lets you display text, and they've got examples here where you use the text command, you say what you want it to display, and then the XY location where you want it to display. Before we do that, I want to use the create font command so that we can have a different kind of a font. So the way create font works is you've got to make a variable called a p font. Just like if you want to make an image, you need a p image. Then inside setup, you're going to use the create font command to make your font object and assign it to your p font variable. So you give it the name of the font and you give it the size of the font. You can't just use any name you want here. There's a number of different built-in fonts. So let's do it together. Here I am back inside the game. Let's at the very top make p font. And we'll call this like main display font. And then down in here, I've already added this line that you don't have. Arrays.toString. Well, let's not do that actually. Let's do it this way. So make a string array called font names. And you can assign it pfont.list. And this is a built-in command that will list all of the fonts that are installed for you. And then you can loop over the entire string array of font names and display each one. So this is good practice looping. So I want to loop starting at location 0. And I want the locations to go up to font names dot length. You've been using size because we've been using array list. What? Oh, font names. But for arrays, it's length. And then I++. And then I'm just going to system.out.println font names I. Okay, so I'm just going to run that real quick and see what fonts are built in. So as you can see, there's like a ton of different fonts that are built in, and you can use any of these names in that create font command. So I think I'm going to use Consolus. I'll comment that out. Alright, so what did I call my p font? Main display font equals create font Consolus, and then I'm going to create it really large, 64 point. So that's my main display font. So you've got to do two different things in order to actually use this font to display text. The first thing is you use the text font command to set it as the currently active font. So that's done it. Text font, main display font. I'm telling it use this one as my font. And again, that's all inside setup because I only want to do this once at the very beginning. Then down here in draw, I can go ahead and display whatever text I want. So I'll use the text command, game, and I'm going to display it at 1010, just as like a little test to see is it going to display my text. Woo! Okay. So game, that looks like it's displaying too high on the screen. So let's move it down a little bit. 60. Looks better. Instead of displaying just a fixed word though, let's have a timer or something counting down. So let's create a variable called timer that I'll set to 100. And then here inside text, I'll display the value of the timer. And here I'll do timer minus minus. Or maybe it's better to say timer equals timer minus 1. So if I do this inside draw, it's looping over draw. I'm subtracting 1 from the timer every time. And I'm displaying whatever number it is as my text. And it looks like this. Cool, so that's counting down rather quickly. I'm going to go ahead and remove this excuse me, and I'm going to go back to having it say game. And the reason why is because in the next video, we're going to start basic collision detection, which is how your objects can tell if anything is hitting them. And then instead of displaying a time, like a countdown timer, we're going to display something like how much health does your player have, or maybe how many asteroids has your player hit, something like that. Okay, come back next time.